Hello, it's Anton. Today we're playing Trackmania. Trackmania, as you probably know, is a racing game, and I have been playing its daily tournament, the Cup of the Day, for about 8 months now. The Cup of the Day is a special daily challenge. A random map is selected with a random style and a random surface. Some of the styles include full speed, technical, bobsleigh. Some of the types of surfaces are track, dirt, grass, ice, and plastic. Because the Cup of the Day is so varied in the types of maps, it's a really good proxy for how good you are at the game overall. This is the format of Cup of the Day. A new map is unveiled once a day. For me, it's at 10 a.m. There's a 15-minute period immediately after that where everybody who wants to play is able to drive their fastest time. Based on the fastest time, everyone is broken up into 64-person divisions, and then it's an elimination battle within those closest to you. After that, there are 4 eliminations per round until there are 16 players left, 2 per round until there are 8 players left, and then finally 1 per round until you have 1 winner. The Cup of the Day process tests every single part of being a good player. It tests how well you can read a map the first time through. It tests how quickly you can learn a map after you've done it once in that 15-minute time period. And it tests how consistently you can drive, because only the slowest few are eliminated. To summarize, a Cup of the Day placement is an indicator of all the aspects of your driving. You could say essentially how good you are at Cup of the Day is how good you are. I'm going to do things a little bit differently with this video, and I'm going to start with the data of what that's looked like. So here we have my improvement graph of how I've done in the Cup of the Day. 0 being last place, 1 being first place. You can see I have not gotten first place yet. We have this definite upward trend. This equation represents our trend line, and with this, apparently in about 791 days, I will be able to win Cup of the Day based on this amount of improvement. So over 2 years. Now that's not spectacular, but I was looking at this, pleased with the results, and I realized I didn't really know what this means. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replay some of my early maps and see how much faster I've gotten, if I can beat them in a short amount of time, 5 minutes. Played my first cup June 6th, but I played some maps beforehand. Map number 1, my personal best was 1 minute 10 seconds. It's an ice map, which is possibly my worst style of map. This run is very much just trying to figure out where the map actually goes. There's a particular technique to doing an ice slide like that I'm not especially good at. So these are all maps that I had played several times in a row, so I knew all of the turns. Now with this one, I'm clearly seeing that I need to be better at reading maps. I'm not especially quick. Not quite. I'm 1.6 seconds ahead of my fastest time. If anybody watching plays Trackmania a lot, you know that my ice play is very questionable. But this isn't about comparing to other people, it's about comparing versus myself. Oh, I had that. And then slid out right at the end. Now the thing with Cup of the Day is because it's all kinds of different maps, some of those maps are going to be ice. And sure enough, in the graph that I showed, some of the results are much worse than others. The important thing is that on average, I'm getting better. Barely not a PB. I was so far ahead at the beginning. I'm definitely a bit ahead now. Gonna try 1 or 2 more times. Gonna go ahead and call ice a no-go. Oh, actually there's new ice physics. Now what is going on here? It's multiple surfaces, sort of like a tech map, I guess. Oh, I thought that was the end, so I stopped paying attention. Now I know that that is not the end of the map. So it took 2 attempts, and I set a 9-second personal best. Seems pretty normal so far. I can see why me as a new player would have had a hard time with this. Whoops. Didn't realize that was a risky finish, so I was way ahead until I whiffed it. Risky finishes obviously throw things off because you do have to sort of play the map for a little while in order to get the hang of it. It's pretty clear that I am significantly faster, even with a couple of mistakes. So at this point I just didn't know how to drive on the surfaces. Okay, 2 attempts once again. I'm not worrying too much about how much I beat my personal best by. The question is, can I come in and pretty much immediately be better than what before was a little bit of a grind? Some maps it's more important to have driven on than others, because if there's no visibility and then there's a blind jump, then yeah, you're going to be a bit slower. Somehow I'm already 3.5 seconds faster. I remember when I was new, I couldn't understand how other players were driving so quickly. And now, first time seeing the map, 4.5 seconds faster already with essentially no effort. Basically the first try, technically the second try because I did drive off the cliff that one time. Over a second and a half slower right now. So I'm wondering if this, maybe I set this one later or if it's just a stronger time from me. It's just a lot of grass. I've never had as much trouble on grass as on something like ice. I always catch myself leaning my head or my body or both to help the car turn, which obviously doesn't work. It just feels like it should work. 2 tries once again. Bonking right away. I'm somehow ahead of my past self. It's a sausage block, so I have to go on that side. This one might be a little bit trickier. Depends on how many other... Well, that felt very smooth. That was easy. Okay, 2 tries. Ooh, this one is going to take a little bit longer. Somehow I'm 1.8 seconds behind. I guess part of it is because there's so many turns and I don't know where any of them are or go. Somehow I just gained a lot of time. I guess I really sucked at getting through water at this point. Just want to get through the map to see what else there is. Some of these maps, it's definitely, you have to have driven on it. But I think I know where most of the strange stuff is now. This is definitely one of the harder ones so far, but I don't feel as bad because a lot of them are just sort of blind jumps and weird stuff like that. 12.5 seconds. These maps with the sausage blocks are tough if you haven't played them because they're so easy to fly off. More of a technical map. This is dirt, which is my second weakest surface after ice. That was very strange. I'm not sure what was to the side there. Maybe it was a skip of some kind. Okay. Bonk phobia. Oh no. Already got 1 bonk in. Where does the map go? Oh, it goes over here. I definitely see why it's called bonk phobia. I don't want to bonk. And yet here we are. It's actually shocking to me that I apparently got 57 seconds on this before. I must have played this map a lot. I think if I can avoid a collision, I should be okay. I might have to give this one to past me. Yeah, this is a very surprisingly strong time. You know, we're gonna have to give this one to past me. I hope this isn't ice. It appears to be ice. I have no idea where I'm going in this map. Apparently the end should be right around here. Oh, there it is. It's a little jump. Oh my god. Oh, I remember this one. Because if you go too slow, you just can't make it. It probably took me a lot of tries to even get that jump at the end. The problem is I just lose grip. I don't know how much of this struggle at the end there is the ice physics, because they did change since this map was made. So it could be that I'm a little slower on new ice physics, and so that jump is just way more difficult. It's very obvious to me that I had to grind this to finish, because you have to get a good ice slide to even get over the jump. It's not something that I could have done in just a couple of attempts. I still can't do it in just a couple of attempts. Okay, we're going to count this one a win for past me as well. Oh, there's a jump there. So this is the type of map that you do have to sort of have driven to not just hit random stuff. Where does this map go? This map is a perfect example of why the challenge to myself isn't beat your time on the map the first try. It's, you know, given a few minutes. Because I couldn't even tell where the map was going there. The map has to be almost over, right? Good so far. What? So I think this should be the time where I beat that time. Alright, got another one down. Now this one I have a gold medal in, so I don't know if I just play this one a lot or if it's a really easy gold. That's not the finish, that's the GPS. This one seems like I played it a lot. Okay, I was ahead, but on my personal best I must have just skipped the slow-mo there. Ugh, if I hadn't hit the wall, that was it. I think I'm gonna turn off this other car, it's distracting me. Let's go. It's already the kind of thing that I still have a bit of trouble with, so it wouldn't surprise me to learn that I had a lot of trouble on it before. Lots of sausage blocks on hills. So far there aren't too many weird random jumps or strange places that I'd have to specifically know or learn. Seems like the map kind of comes down to that one section, if you can land it well. It's See if I can come back on the other parts. Not like that. That's definitely not how you're supposed to get over that, but I'm not very much behind, so I'll just have to live with that and avoid launching myself off these sausage blocks, which I've now done a couple of times. Getting that one part here right is gonna make a big difference. Okay. I vaguely remember this, but it might have been because I watched somebody stream it as well. I don't know where I'm going. Wait, what? Where does the map go? Do I have to get onto the boat? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Oh, is this a full speed track? Because full speed is my favorite map style. I don't know how well I would have done at it at this point. So this is very much one where you have to know the map because you're going so fast that a slight mistake will just put you into the shadow realm. I remember this specific turn being really difficult. Is the finish right up here? No. I know I wouldn't or couldn't have done that when I did this the first time. Obviously, no, I didn't because I didn't know that it existed. And falling off even the one time is just brutal. I landed pretty poorly there. This is a win for past me. Don't remember this one at all. It's got sausage blocks though, so likely I struggled with it, at least somewhat. I went over the checkpoint on the outside. I would have found that maneuver so technical when I played this. Not so technical, so precise. Would have been like, how do I not hit stuff on either side of that? Wow, I was only 3 thousandths of a second behind after all that early tomfoolery. Almost a 9-second PB. Oh, I remember this one. I thought that it was crazy that people could possibly drive faster than I drove, and that it was insanity that people could be faster. Actually, so far my time was pretty solid. Looks like I had some trouble right here, considering I just gained like 3 seconds. Just didn't know where the map was going there. The issue I'm having right now is just remembering where stuff is on the map, which obviously when I was playing this before, I would have been playing the same map over and over and over, so that wouldn't have been an issue. I need to get better at reading maps, apparently. Being able to just drive through and not make terrible mistakes. I think that's how a lot of Division 1 players end up in Division 1, is they can read a map really well, and they don't have to waste time falling off the map and doing resets because of that. They can just go through the map once and then immediately start looking for optimizations. Okay, this is going to be another one where reading is going to be a challenge, because it's a lot of earthy type tones, not immediately clear where everything is going to be going. This honestly seems like a pretty reasonable time that I set. Alright, now that I know where the map is going mostly, let's see if it goes a little better. Still 2.5 seconds behind. Seems like I set a pretty solid time before. Bonk is probably going to be too much to come back from. Actually, I lost 2 seconds right at the end there in my PB run. So if I can not crash in the meantime, I think I have a pretty good chance. This is the first time I've gone past that checkpoint ahead. Oh, well, now I'm behind again. If I can just not hit anything over here, that would be fantastic. Nice. Frozen Fury. Oh no. I suspect this is an ice map, and therefore I suspect this may be a victory for past me. I got to drive on not ice for a fraction of a second, and it was glorious. I love that doing the dumb shortcut of just not driving on ice saved me 2.5 seconds there. For some reason, those last like 3 turns past me just like crushed it. Became an ice god. Just drive on the snow. It's not a big deal. Alright, once again I am seeding an ice map to past me. A little bit slower. Oh, I was going to say a little bit slower already, but now I'm faster. I'm guessing this is because past me just didn't know how to drive on dirt at all. Even going completely off the map, I'm still over half a second ahead. Alright, now that I actually landed on the road, or the dirt, the place that I'm supposed to be driving, 2.5 seconds pretty easily. Okay, so there's a skip there. Of course, sausage blocks, which have been the bane of my existence. Pretty easy to get ahead of past me on them, even messing up like that. The end should be any minute now. Oh, there we go. First try on that one. Can't go that way. And that is a trap. Let's get the map actually started. Oh my god. Definitely having trouble reading this one. Now for my second full run through, feeling a lot more confident. So now I'll actually know where the road is. Ooh. Okay, a lot of these, it's just as soon as I've been through the whole map one time, I'm immediately better than I was with grinding before. I don't know if you can call it grinding if you only get bronze medal, but that's how it is when you're a brand new player. Any medal at all is an achievement. I remember the vibe of this one. It's a really, really nice looking map. Obviously I don't remember how to drive it, but I remember the Japanese scenery. First try PB. Stuff like that is a really clear indication of improvement for me. I've gotten better enough at reading the map that I can just go through and on the first try just be better than I was before when I was practicing it. Seems to be another full speed map, which is very exciting for me because I love full speed. Of course, it doesn't mean that messing up at all means that your run is just done. Really difficult to read at these speeds. Have to do the best I can. Oh, this one is going to take a couple of tries because I can basically only see the path when I'm going at these speeds. Wow, 5-second PB. What is this? Actual road? Crazy. How is this driving game taking place on a road? Oh my god. This is not like one of those games where you can hit the cones and they move aside. This is like cone land. The houses look like cones too. Is that a risky? So there's a standard finish over here. I actually wasn't that far behind, considering that I bonked a rock and a cone and missed the risky finish. I'm glad that bush didn't beat the hell out of me like the cone did. So there's a pretty substantial time gain at the end. Okay. A backwards map. This is going to be very interesting. Am I supposed to turn around at some point? Just trying to figure out where to go. I'm now convinced that you do have to turn around here. But when is the question? Seems like maybe right here. It's weird. It makes you go over that part backwards. Or maybe I just missed. That must have been it. There must have just been a better way to go across that. Is that another path back there? I might have to check that out. Oh, I thought that was a finish. It's not. Just want to see what's over here. Nothing's over there. That is a win for the past. Oh. So this is going to be one of those, huh? Gonna have to be aware of where holes and pitfalls are. I think I remember this one a little bit actually. Just didn't want to fall off the edge there. Nice second attempt. It's called Plastech, so it looks like it is a plastic tech map. Now I have some trouble with tech sometimes, but plastic is okay for me. Certainly not as bad as ice. I wonder if this is wet plastic, because I feel very slippery. Oh shit. I might have been able to get this one first try until that happened. Oh, there's a risky finish there. I now know the full map. I won't mess up this part again. Once again, first run after I know the full map. So it's a dirt map. Is this dirt? Or is this grass? Maybe it's grass. It's kind of brown grass. This seems very plain, I guess. It's all just, you know, getting good lines and that's pretty much it. There's not even a ton to crash into. Because there's not too much to this map other than lines, it may be a difficult one to actually beat in short order. Oh hey, my second attempt once again. I got trolled. This is a multi-lap type of situation? What's happening? The fact that I'm over a second ahead and I don't even understand what's going on in the map. First try. These ones as well, because this is the month that I actually started playing. These are my first cups of the day. Just have no idea what the map could look like. It's very shiny. I remember this one actually. I think this was like my first day playing Trackmania. At this point I just want to get to know the level so that when I come back I'll be able to just go through. Where does this go? Over here? Did I just troll myself? Am I supposed to go to the left? Where does this go? It's gonna drive. Oh, it's literally right here. I'm gonna have to beat this quickly if I want to do it within 5 minutes, because that took 2 minutes right there. I guess beating it a second try is the name of the game. Pagodopolis is such a great name for a map. Or for anything, really. Oh yeah, this was really early on. It's kind of fun to see these again because my whole understanding of how a map works and how the game works is just completely different. I thought I was going to crash there. This looks like it might be another one shot. Shouldn't have said that. It worked out. What's going on here? Got some grass. Just lots of grass hills. Almost just drove off the map to the left there. Oh no. Missing a checkpoint like that is always very sad. Nice and simple map. Now that I know about the possibility of missing that one checkpoint, I'm pretty confident that I will get a new personal best. Yep, it's called Wata. I think there's water on it. I have a gold medal on this map, so it may be difficult to beat. Oh, I remember this. This might have been the cup that I played on my first day. Or this might have been the cup that I watched the day before I bought the game. This was really, really early. I remember asking people like how to drive better, and they're like, yeah, you just have to drive better. Oh boy, I forgot this map was so short. Oh, that was gonna be it. Turned on others just to see if there's a trick or something that I'm missing. Doesn't look like it. I think this is a victory for me in the past. I must have played that a lot. This was it. This was the first cup of the day that I played. I remember because I had no idea how to drift, so I was trying to figure it out. This turn was I had to learn how to drift to get around it. Although technically you don't have to, but yeah, I remember it well. Bonking right there, just going, wait, what? How am I supposed to make that turn? The answer is, well, you drift. PB, second attempt. Officially have gotten better than my first cup of the day. Oh, there's a skip over there, I think, that I just missed. I'm not sure if I'm fast enough to do this skip, but let's try. That was a mistake. I should have just gone the normal way. I was fine on time. Nice. Ah, right. I remember this one being tough because I just couldn't hit any of the landings properly. Like, I don't think I knew how to air brake or, I mean, do much of anything at this point. Oh, that's right. This is a 2-lap one. Man, the angle of that is really rough. Oh, that's brutal. It's that angle of the bounce. Would just take me too long to figure out because it's right at the end of the map. So 5 minutes is not enough time. Okay, so it's a tech map, which I usually struggle with. No different here. Oh, that one drift got me a whole second. So I was really struggling on this map. Well, now that I know it, I think I should be okay. Well, I don't know if know it might be too strong, but now that I've driven through once. Tried to drift there, but ended up just braking. Second try. Ah, yes, this one. One of the first tracks that made me start to have a negative opinion of dirt. When I was only 5 days into my Trackmania career. And I was like, I don't know about this dirt stuff. Yeah, pretty simple map. Just have to not run into stuff. You know, like that. Hitting the wall right there again. Perfect. Well, I hit the wall a little bit later than before, so that's something, I guess. The visibility on this is definitely rough because there's all the hills. So you have to know where the next turn is going to be so you can start going in that direction right away. Or just slow down a bunch at the top of the hill. Very nice. This map is called the worst map, so it's probably sausage blocks. Because it is sausage blocks, I might not have too hard a time actually beating past self. Current me struggles on sausage blocks, and past me was way worse at them. I do that a lot. Well, I've been through the map now, so we shall see what I can do with that, with the extra map knowledge. I'm 3 seconds behind. Not as much as I would have thought, actually, considering the 2 huge bonks that I had. Oh, is this the one where there's one ice slide and then it's just sort of a normal map? Because I kind of remember this one. I remember that initial slide, if nothing else. This was, I think, my introduction to the concept of a risky finish. So now I've been through the map one time, feeling much more comfortable on it. So all there is to do now is just hit the finish. Oh no. Alright, well, I was far enough ahead, I should have just done the regular finish. So that's what I'll do this time. 3 second PB. Oh god, another ice map? Really? Most of these that I haven't been able to beat in the 5-minute time frame have been ice. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if this was another one that I was not able to beat in the 5 minutes. It's possible that I beat it. If I had to make a bet, I wouldn't bet on it. What? Okay. or I'll beat it by 4.5 seconds first try. Ooh, is this a full speed map? This was one of my first full speed maps. Thought it was just the coolest thing. Just like going fast. I remember grinding this one so hard. I wanted gold so badly. A lot of these times that I set early on, when I go back, they're, you know, ranked 20,000 or something like that. This one is quite a bit better. It's really clear that the extra effort I put into it. I remember that jump, that one right there, that looks so clean and so easy, but you just have to have nailed everything in order to get it. It's a strong time. Can't beat it in 5 minutes. It's a long map like this. I would think that I would pretty much save time everywhere. It's just so much map that I can save time in. Oh, that's brutal. I remember that. And then it's a jump right there, but while you're going a bit faster. This map almost wants to be full speed. It isn't quite, but it's close. Full speed with just a whiff of tech. Biggest thing I have to do is avoid that same bonk that I got right there. Forced acceleration. Oh, that's why. I was wondering why I suddenly lost control there. Forced acceleration would do it. This should be good. Seems very tacky. Oh, there's a hole right there. I just thought it was a different colored bit of ground. What is this jump? Okay, I need to get this right, because other than this, I was easily ahead of my previous. Now I need to avoid the random hole in the ground. Pretty much should be okay from here, as long as I land at the end properly. It all goes horribly wrong. Wasn't exactly what I meant to do. All I have to do is not blow a 6-second lead. Way harder than it should have been. And I did not remember this at all. Oh yeah, I remember this underwater part now. And then this turn was always a pain. Yeah, I should be able to do better than that, now that I know where I'm going, like, at all. That's exactly the issue that I had with the ending, when this was the actual map. Just gonna practice the end right here. If you bonk and lose all your speed, it's not that hard to control. At least I didn't hit the damn tree again. That's why it sucks. There's a no brakes block. Forgot about that. I just hope I don't whiff the end. So easy to do here. Whew. Now this is an interesting one, because I don't have any medals on this. And I remember exactly just not understanding bobsleigh at all. I didn't understand what water did. Admittedly, with that jump, I still don't really look like I know what I'm doing. I find bobsleigh so much easier than ice, even though it is technically also ice. Now what I don't remember is what the finish is like here. 11 seconds faster, first try. After 8 months, finally got that medal. Another dirt map. Sort of techie. I remember being so frustrated here because I just didn't get how to drive dirt. Definitely a lot faster than I was before. Just have to stay on the track now that I know where it is. Shouldn't be that difficult. Okay. Ah, yeah, I remember this one. This was fun. It was very spooky. My time on it seems pretty strong. Looks like some stuff went wrong at the end here. I remember falling off behind that sign so many times. So I was ahead. Just barely had the angle wrong there. 1.3 seconds better. Oh, I remember this one. I didn't get to actually compete in Cup of the Day here because it's so long, and I missed a checkpoint at some point, and so I missed the 10-minute window, and I was so sad. Cup of the Day probably took so long to actually finish, but because it is just endurance, and because my time wasn't very good, I'm fairly certain that I'll be able to get a PB on my first playthrough, which I will have to do in order to fulfill the 5-minute challenge requirement, because obviously I don't have time to play it twice. Of course there's ice. Why wouldn't there be ice? Oh, I just gained 6 seconds from the ice segment. Even though I'm bad at ice now, I was like really bad at ice. So that just bought me a ton of time. That's right, there's a pipe. I don't think I'd ever driven on a pipe before this Cup of the Day. Oh, I just slid out and had to reset, and I gained 2 seconds there. So I guess that must have happened to me the first time as well. This one seems like I didn't play it very much. I probably was just too sad after not making it into the actual cup. The end has to be around here somewhere. What the hell? Oh, there it is. Did in fact PB first try within 5 minutes. This is another tricky looking one because I already have gold. Another reasonable time, almost rank 5,000. Oh, is this full speed? That explains why my time is good. already I was starting to feel more comfortable on full speed than on other types of maps. And unfortunately, it means this one might be tricky to beat. The teeniest mistake on full speed, so difficult. I mean, impossible to come back from, really. Oh, the angle's got to be really exact there. It's got to be like, I don't know. I think part of why I like full speed is that it feels so good to finally get everything lined up just right, but there's a lot of not having it lined up just right in the meantime. Yeah, I have a really strong time here. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat it. Not in 5 minutes. Grass map. My time's quite a bit weaker here. 85-45 instead of about 5,000. That was a nice turn. First time I've actually gained time in that little section. Not quite. This one, I have no medals on. It's Tech Ice. My worst surface and my worst map type. Look at how close they all are. 29.5, 29, 28.6. Oh, I remember this map. This was a map that engendered my hatred for ice. So simple. Just a handful of turns. And yet, so difficult. That last turn especially. I think I actually got pretty far in this cup just because everybody was struggling so hard. I remember playing it a lot to get this time that I have. I honestly don't even understand how I set this time. I also don't know how much the ice physics change had to do with it. Giving that one to the past. This is another one I have gold on. You can see this was the point where I had started grinding. Very strange beginning to a map. I sort of remember this. The speed there is key to make that jump later. Part of this might just be because I've been playing for 3 hours. Getting tired. It's another win for past me. With an immediate bonk, I'm half a second ahead of my personal best. Because this is all about the lines, because you can't really steer all that well. Okay, so going airborne is really bad. Yeah, this was a very weird cup of the day. Seems like drifting is the most important thing here, because your car just has too much momentum. Gotta stop running into stuff. So difficult to control, and it's so unlike every other type of driving. Thought that was going to be another one for the past. I think this map was when I was first starting to understand the principles of dirt. Not a lot, but it seems a lot more solid than the first couple of dirt tracks. That's a solid time. I don't know if I'll be able to beat that in 5 minutes. A loss to the past. Wait, I think I went through that checkpoint the wrong way. Another full speed map. The full speed ones past me spent a long time on. I don't know why I tried to just not steer on the grass. Should have known that that was a trap. Figure out this angle here. Unfortunately that bonk is going to be enough. So as long as I don't bonk on that last turn, I'm fast enough. But in order to not bonk, I either have to drift perfectly, which is hard, or I have to slow down, in which case I have to be far enough ahead that I can get away with that. Another win for the past. Oh, that was the finish right there. This is another case where I just didn't really know how to drive dirt very well. So even driving dirt okay, like I'm doing right now, I'm getting way ahead. Second try. Okay, so we can come back to this graph now and say in practical terms what it means to improve by this much. 43 of the 59 maps that I played, I got better on within 5 minutes, most of those within just 2 attempts. Of the 16 that I was not able to beat in 5 minutes, it's worth noting that 7 of those, almost half, were after more than 3.5 hours of play, when I was obviously getting tired. The other ones were primarily ice maps, which is my weakest, and full speed maps, which I had already spent a lot of time grinding for a better time. Overall, I'm really, really happy with this improvement. I learned that I need to spend a lot more time on ice, and I actually had a coaching session this morning on ice, so hopefully those results will be getting better soon. And that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please actually like the video. You can go ahead and subscribe. And please leave a comment if there's any other video ideas that you'd like to see. See you next time.